So hello, we are in day 2 of our Theraband challenge. So today is all about arms. So with the arms, I'm going to keep it quite simple. Sometimes we do it where we have this anchored round a bolt or a back of a chair or a table or a park bench or a pergola, something like that. I'm just going to do it where you don't need a lot. So with the band, I have obviously got quite a long band today. I'm actually going to just pop this band under my feet, and we're going to start with just some nice easy biceps. So I'm standing on the band. I know you guys actually might be able to see me in the mirror if you look in that mirror there. And the actual band position that we're going to do is just very soft in the knees, and we're working on some biceps. So as I was saying earlier, if we're doing the band and it's quite nice and long, we'll be able to manage to do both together. If you do have a shorter band and you're finding it's hard to manage, you can obviously do one arm at a time. So just for ease, I'm going to keep my body nice and upright. I'm going to make sure that my stomach and my body is in what we call neutral, so it's not curled and it's not arched. And I'm going to do a set of biceps curls. So inhale, exhale. So exhale on the effort, inhale, return. Exhale on the effort, inhale, return. I would try, if you can, just to keep your elbows in towards the body rather than having them out here, so that you isolate it to biceps. You'll notice that I've got my palms up, and you'll notice that I'm not really gripped. So obviously you could do these with a weight. Theraband or Clibby band stops you from having to carry that weight behind. And then from there, we're going to turn our hands, so hands are facing in, and we can activate a different section. And you can obviously play around with where you want your band to sit. And again, when my palms are in, it activates a different section of my biceps. Now, if you really want to get technical, you can add on some knee bends. So if you want to bring a bit of cardio into it, you can add on some knee bends there. Okay, so our 2 exercises for biceps are arms in, palms up, turn the palms in, palms up. So imagine that you're holding something on your hand, and then imagine that you're holding a can and you're going that way. Okay, second exercise we're going to do is for your adductor muscles. So I'm just going to demonstrate one side at the moment, and it's going to be arm coming out to the side. Now with this one here, I don't want you to go straight forward or straight to the side. I want you to go at sort of what we call a scaption line. So it's about 45 degrees in front. So if I show you here, it's about there. So if you're looking at a clock, 12 o'clock, it's maybe heading around about 4 o'clock on that clock. Okay, so if I do it for both sides again, just make sure that you're centered, and we're lifting them up into that scaption range and straight back down. So exhale and down. Now if you're quite weak, you might prefer to have your strap a bit longer so you've got more range, whereas if you're quite strong, you can see the resistance is a lot harder, a lot more resistance to it. So keep it where you're not cheating and having to lift at that level. Okay, so we've got scaption, which is arm abduction, but in a slightly forward line to the body. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower without the lean backwards. Okay, next one we're going to go through is just some rotated calf. Most of us spend a lot of time curled forward, so we end up with tight pecs, and also because of that our body sits further forward. So we're going to sit to strengthen these up by having our Theraband. So you can see my position is I'm in that 45 degree line again, or 90 degree line rather, at the elbows, and I'm just pulling the arm out. Okay, so with that arm pull out, what I'm activating is the muscles at the back of my arm. Now these are traditional ones you might have been given if you have a shoulder problem and you anchor it around a doorknob to actually just isolate that one arm. We're going to do it for both arms. And again, if you want less resistance, you just have the strap a bit wider. If you want more resistance, you have the strap there. And obviously, if you want a lot of resistance, you can double the strap over. So that's our resistance into what we call external rotation. The big one on this is that wherever you start, you don't want it slack, because any movement there is just taking up the slack. Wherever your start point is, you want a slight bit of tension, so you're then pulling on the band. So far we've worked biceps, we've worked abductors, so the muscles in deltoid, so the definition of your arm here, and we've worked muscles that go behind your back here. So we've worked the front, around, and the last bit we're going to do today is triceps. So for your triceps muscle, I'll give you two options. The triceps are what we call the tuck shop arms. Okay, so with your arm that you're going to exercise, you want it behind your back. So imagine that you're washing your back or drying your back with a towel. This arm is static and it's going to hold you still, and we're stretching that arm forward. Okay? So what's going on is I'm working my triceps forward and back. So the big thing with this is that we're not leaning back because we're causing compression. So I would do it with one leg forward and then you're pushing with that arm. So if you don't want all that whole bit that's flapping around at the front, shorten your strap so that when you reach, you've then got that range. Okay? So we're going to exhale, press the fingertips to the ceiling, inhale, control it back. So we're not going to press and let go, press and let go. We're going to exhale and press into triceps, control the front triceps back, so we're getting that resistance. And again, if you want to make it harder, you can obviously add on some legs. This is one that we traditionally would do anchored around block, so that we can actually do two arms together. So if you think you would prefer to get them both done together, you're going to need to find something sturdy to loop your strap around. And then when you're in that position with the strap, you still want to, rather than arch, you want to tuck under. So those bits are in line rather than you arching. So your eye line is at 45 degrees and you're reaching forwards. To be honest, that way is quite a lot nicer because you can see I've got good clearance on the bands. I'm not having to worry about the band hitting me. So if you're out walking, you can do it around a park bench, or if you've got a pergola or some sort of rail at home, or you've got a landing where you've got something horizontal that you can anchor it to, that would be great. So that's your last one there with your triceps. And with all of those exercises there, you can do it where you press and release, exhale, press and release, and then do little pulses right at edge of range. Again, if you wanted to add in some leg work, you can. Okay, so that's a nice little 5-minute segment for you. Like I say, we've gone through your biceps muscle, we've gone through the deltoid at the top, we've gone through some muscles for your shoulder blade at the back, and then we've followed through with some triceps for the side. So hopefully you've enjoyed those ideas. Like I say, with your Theraband, weights for arms are quite heavy. It doesn't matter if you're carrying them around. If you haven't got weights, you can always use your bottle of water or a can of baked beans as resistance. So a can of baked beans, bottle of water is probably around about half a kilo, just under half a kilo. And then obviously the bigger the literage of the bottle, the heavier the water is going to be. But biceps, arm there, and triceps, you can alternate those into a little workout using weights. So hopefully you've enjoyed day 2, all of our arms. The replay will be available later as soon as it uploads properly, and then as of yesterday I'm recording it so that we can pop it onto a proper video channel for you, mainly because sometimes Facebook doesn't work as well as it should. So join us tomorrow. Tomorrow is all about legs, day 3, so we'll be going through some glutes, some quads and some hammies for your legs, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Day 4 is about abs, and day 5 on Friday is going to be a combo, so we'll sort of try and combo it all together and have a bit of cardio for you. Take care, hopefully you enjoy it. See you tomorrow.